Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for a brand new video, back for something we haven't had in about 4 months. What flick will Pauly pick? Yes, this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start doing it a different way, which I'll explain in a little while. But first of all, let's pick the film that everybody wanted me to watch.
What Flick Will Pauly Pick?
Okay, so the film that came out with 47 votes is Gary Oldman in The Darkest Hour on 4K, his portrayal of Winston Churchill. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, let's pop it in the player and let's watch The Darkest Hour.
Two hours later.
We shall fight them in HMV. We shall fight them in Poundland. We will never give up. Oh dear me. Yes, okay. Darkest Hour. Wow. Yeah, what a great film. What a great film. This film must be seen. If nothing but for Gary Oldman's portrayal as Winston Churchill. Now, I did go and see the film Churchill with Brian Cox, and he was good, but Gary Oldman, it's obvious why he won an Oscar for Best Actor. What an incredible performance. It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime performances that sticks with them and they'll be forever known as. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, this film is basically set in the month of May in 1940. Parliament and the British public have lost faith in the current Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain. He resigns, and the choice to become Prime Minister is, of course, Winston Churchill. He goes to see King George VI, played brilliantly by Ben Mendelsohn, and he forms a new government, and it's all to do with Operation Dynamo. Yeah, nothing to do with a magician. Yeah, this is all building up to a peace. Hitler is invading all the European countries. The UK is next, and it's whether we should continue fighting on or whether we should negotiate a peace treaty with Hitler through Mussolini as like a go-to person. I remember Mussolini in Hello, Hello. I don't think he acted the same way. Yeah. Anyway, so that's basically the story, and it's about Churchill's struggles with Parliament. You know, he has the opposition telling him that he must sign this peace because, you know, the unthinkable is coming. You know, Buckingham Palace will have swastikas on it and all that kind of thing, and Parliament will have swastikas all over it, and nobody really knows what would happen to the public, you know. But he's got this fire. He's got this fire, and he believes that it is possible to win. And he's aided by the ever-lovely Lily James, who's Churchill's private typist that follows him around everywhere. There's even scenes that are reminiscent of Dunkirk. You know, all those soldiers need to be saved at Dunkirk, and they need to rally up these boats, these you know, privately owned or little yachts and boats like that, You remember the scene in Dunkirk when all these little boats that came through the cloud, came through the fog to save all these soldiers, to ferry them back to the UK. And it's pretty much this, it evokes the same emotion in this. It's just fantastic seeing all these little boats as far as the eye can see, with the white cliffs, probably of Dover in the background. And yeah, it's one of those scenes that kind of gets you every time. The cinematography on this film is absolutely stunning. A lot of the film is dark because it's set in kind of like Parliament, and it kind of gives it a very dark, gothic-y look, like a Batman look, rather than the swanky, bright Parliament scenes that we see, with the Prime Minister these days. So the lighting is just right. It makes it look a little bit more potentially doomed. Like we're all doomed. Yeah. And most of the film is filmed in locations of like underground tunnels. There was one really nice touching scene, actually, really well shot, where Winston actually decides to ride the London Underground to Westminster, in his interaction with all the public and trying to get a sense of whether we should sign the peace treaty or whether we should fight on the beaches. Yes. So yeah, I thought it was really good. All the performances were fantastic. Lily James was great. Kristen Scott Thomas was Winston's wife. She was good. But it's really Gary Oldman's film, isn't it? This is Gary Oldman's film, and the makeup is unbelievable. There was one scene where I think he was coming out of Buckingham Palace and just about to get in his car, walking sideways along the car. I could have swore it was actually Winston Churchill. It was so perfect. And of course the old, oh, as he did it. Yeah. Yeah. Riveting. Yeah, there's, explosions in it. There's, it's not a big action war epic, like Saving Private Ryan. We do get a few bombs being dropped on German soldiers here and there, but it's mainly about Parliament, the cabinet, politics, the military. Yeah, I think it was really good. I just noticed on here, actually, on the top lot, we got 4K HD Blu-ray and a digital download. Do you remember the days when we used to get digital downloads with these? Absolutely fantastic. This is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, actually. Look at the state of it. Yeah, as for the film itself, I can't fault it. It was fantastic right to the end. And I thoroughly enjoyed every single minute of it. And Gary Oldman was just mesmerising for the whole film. So, absolutely fantastic. And he deserved that Oscar. And it would have been a tragedy if he hadn't got that Oscar. So, yeah, so fantastic. So, that is The Darkest Hour with Gary Oldman. The 4K picture quality on that was really nice. Really crystal sharp. The blacks were black, no grain, and it was just a perfect transfer. Sound was in Dolby Atmos, although not a lot of use of overheads. I mean, there was some bombs being dropped by planes, but I think most of the overheads were evident when they were in Parliament and you had lots of people clapping and cheering above you. So that's where it came in. But it wasn't a absolutely strong Atmos soundtrack, but it was still really good. And the dialogue was absolutely fantastic. So there we go. So that is my review of Darkest Hour. How would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to give this one 8.5 out of 10. We shall fight them in CEX. Yes. So there we go. So that is The Darkest Hour. That was the last voted one for What Flick Will Pauly Pick. Brilliant. Okay. Now, as I said earlier on, it's going to be a little bit different because I want to be churning these videos out on a weekly basis and having people voting I might not get the full complement of votes that I need, or it might be on the brink, if you know what I mean, not balanced properly. So for the time being, I'm doing away with the public voting, yes, and I'm just going to be diving my little hand into the What Flick pot at the beginning of every episode of this, and then I'll just pick one piece of paper. That's the film that I will watch. So yeah, so there we go. So look out for that. That will be in a week's time. But I just needed to get this one out of the way. Well, not out of the way, but I needed to watch it because it was the last one that was voted. So I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Like the video by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. And I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Churchill himself. Till the next video, bye!
The gratitude of every home in our island, in our empire, and indeed throughout the world, except in the abodes of the guilty, goes out to the British airmen who, undaunted by odds, unwearied in their constant challenge and mortal danger, are turning the tide of the world war by their prowess and by their devotion. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.